All right, hello everybody. I recently posted a video on my Reddit showing me using the latest beta versions of the SBoys3 custom headset drivers on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But importantly, I was using it on the Pimax Crystal Light, and there were a couple of people asking me to post things like a tutorial video on how I was able to accomplish this and the steps that I took to accomplish this. I do not have as much time as I used to have, so I was unable to make a step-by-step tutorial video, but I was able to go ahead and put together a quick document that I'll include in the description down below on how you can achieve something similar on your setup. I want to stress that this is a beta software and it's still being developed every single day. Tweaks are being made and it's still early in the process. So go ahead and save all your current settings, because in the process of you using this, you might override your functional settings, and this is not intended to be a daily driver or a daily replacement for your current setup. It's flawed. I've already had crashes, but that's part of using beta software or early software that might not have support fully for the devices that we are wanting it to have, right? But we can get there. All right. I just wanted to show you the path and the tools that I use to get there. I do not know if these options are necessary. I do not know which options interact with each other, the options that might cancel out each other, but these are just what works for me and how I have the setup flowing on my end to be as frictionless as possible. So the first thing you'll need, for me, I use the Pimax EVO software. This allows you to use the OpenPort mode, and I'll tell you more about OpenPort here in just a second. This is a link that I have included below to give you more information about Pimax EVO, and then I've also included a video that tells you more about Pimax EVO in detail from Pimax themselves. So go check out those videos, get a little bit more background information, request early access to Pimax EVO, and then once you're done with that, come meet me back here. If you're already good to go, let's keep trucking along. We need Steam and we need SteamVR. So the whole goal here is to bypass some of the native Pimax software and treat your Pimax Crystal Light as a native SteamVR headset, or any of your Pimax devices as SteamVR headsets. The goal is to improve things like performance, which I've noticed on my end, and I swear it's not a placebo effect. I'm not sure why this would be the case. Maybe it's how the distortion profiles work, or the lack of a distortion profile. Or maybe it's some sort of interaction that Pimax has had with my setup that hasn't performed favorably compared to SteamVR, but this performs better to me in my setup. So you'll get Steam, you'll get SteamVR, you'll get the SBoys3 driver, and I've included the beta version. You will need the beta version 1.3.0 to get this functioning on the Pimax Crystal Light. This is a recent version, and you'll need this version to use the Crystal Light, at least for the time being. You'll go ahead and open up that link I've sent you directly to where you need to go. This will get you access to the 1.3.0 beta. And the download link is under the assets dropdown. Once you have downloaded the beta version, you'll come to your downloads folder and you'll extract the zip file to any folder of your choice. I would not recommend, and SBoys3 does not recommend, that you leave it in the downloads folder. You can move the folder that you have extracted to a permanent folder, and you can do this by just cutting or copying and then pasting to a permanent folder of your choice. I have installed mine to my virtual reality tools folder, but this is not a requirement. You can install it anywhere. You can rename the enclosing folder to whatever you like, as long as these two folders are included in there. Okay, so open the GUI folder and just confirm that you have the GUI executable file. If that's in there, then we're all good to go. We're cooking on gas. Just remember where you stored it, and then open up your Pimax EVO, and you'll want to come down here to the developer mode. Something that I've been playing with is making sure that as many of these settings in Pimax EVO are set in stone to what you've been accustomed to using in the past. And then if you need to make any additional changes, just knowing what you have here already helps a lot. It saves you a lot of headaches so that you can revert to what your daily settings are without much friction. Go down to the developer mode tab, and then open port is the function that we're looking for. Enable the open port, hit confirm. Your computer is going to freeze and glitch for a couple seconds. It's very jarring. I was terrified when it happened. I thought that my computer was bricked, but it'll happen every time you use this. Browse for the executable file that I just showed you. So the custom headset GUI executable file, you'll hit the import button here, you'll browse for that and then hit open. And then what you'll do is hit the launch button. This will say SBoys3 once you browse for and select the executable file. Hit the launch button here. It's going to open up the custom headset driver GUI, and you'll be sent to this page, I think, by default. You'll want to hit this button. I think it will say install driver, and you'll want to confirm that the app version here says 1.3.0 beta.0, and these buttons down here, these could be used for troubleshooting, and if you make changes, for example, within SteamVR or any changes within Pimax, you can hit restart compositor to have those settings updated. For some settings, other settings will brick your setup. Not brick it, but it will crash the setup, and that's just something you have to deal with in the beta setting, in the beta environment. If you hit the driver settings here, just copy all the selections that I've made. So anything you see with a reset to default button next to it, I've changed. I'm not certain if these settings are required for the Pimax Crystal Light to work, but this is what I use on my setup, and my Pimax Crystal works. So I'm not saying that these settings are the cause of my Pimax Crystal working. I'm just saying my Pimax Crystal Light is working and these settings are enabled. So if you want to mirror these settings, then go ahead and do so. And my hope is that you will have a friction-free experience, but I cannot confirm that that will be the case. So those are my general settings. I left all the Dream Ear settings the same. I've left all the Dream Ear SE settings the same. Crystal Super Micro OLED settings, I've left those the same. Pimax 8KX settings, I've left these the same. The distortion profile settings, I've left these the same. I have not imported any custom distortion profiles. It's already a miracle that this thing is working for me. I don't want to mess with that, not right now, maybe in the future. App settings, I've left these the same for the Pimax Crystal Light. Somebody was asking me, well, if I don't see the Pimax Crystal Light set here, what does that mean? You know, should I see the Pimax Crystal Light setting here? I don't think so. I don't think SBoys3 has natively included settings for the Pimax Crystal Light specific settings in here yet, especially because I don't think they have created a distortion profile just as yet either. So Pimax Crystal Light is not supposed to be an option up here. It doesn't show up for me, and my Pimax Crystal Light has still worked. So once these settings are in place, you'll want to go ahead and make sure that you have SteamVR running. So mine is my SteamVR starting right now. It is probably launching in the background, and you'll see searching. Sometimes it won't detect your headset by default. Whenever that happens, just restart your computer. For example, it's showing me right now that my headset is disconnected. It's not. It's gonna cycle a few times, and then the hope is that it detects your Pimax Crystal Light. So right now you see it's working. It's searching, right? My headset is in standby mode, but if I move the headset, you'll see that this comes alive. And remember, this is bypassing Pimax. This is bypassing the Pimax runtime. This is only with SteamVR. So my computer right now, at this very moment, thinks that SteamVR compatible or SteamVR native rather headset is connected to my computer, is functioning with that assumption. Okay, so it's bypassing all this Pimax EVO stuff, right? In fact, I can close my Pimax EVO in theory, and it's still going to function in theory. I don't want to push my luck, but I've been able to close the Pimax EVO software and still have functionality here, right? Okay, that it's now not telling me that it's in standby mode. So SteamVR is detecting a headset, and furthermore, SteamVR is detecting a native SteamVR headset. It's none the wiser at this time. We've fooled it. We've tricked it. It's now in our grips, in our grasp to do whatever we want to do. Okay. There you go. That's really all you need to do. I'm not going to put the headset on because you won't be able to see what I see unless maybe if I hit the display VR view. I'm still getting used to SteamVR, because I've been using the Pimax software and the Pimax OpenXR, runtime for so long that I have to learn SteamVR and the intricate details behind it. So I encourage you to I encourage you to learn it with me and to give feedback if you find settings that work or don't work for the Pimax Crystal Light. If you can give feedback, that would be so appreciated.